All right, I've asked for a little bit of help from all of our advisory. So they're all going to come up, and I cannot promise you that they won't be a distraction because they're always a distraction, but it's part of what we love about them. All right. Well, I'll start with this. I have had actually, I don't know if many of you know, well, first off, I'd like to say Hannah was originally supposed to do the speech in March. And then last week, we often will try to catch up at the end of lunch. And last week, she was like, oh, yeah, by the way, I'm doing my counselor talk next week. And my parents will be there because it's a board meeting. And the whole board will be there. So no pressure. So thank you, Hannah. I've actually known Hannah for longer than her 4 years here. I actually knew her as a fourth grader, running around watching her brothers play tennis in Pinehurst, North Carolina. She didn't really register much on my radar because I taught middle school, but I knew she was the girl with kind of the squeaky, raspy voice who couldn't ever stop moving. That's kind of how I knew her. I really got to know her, or got to figure out who she was when she and her dad toured, and it was during COVID. So we walked around in the freezing cold with the Lewis sisters, and then we sat down out on the front jet in the middle of the winter and talked. But we had so much fun talking. We were all shivering, but we were just enjoying talking so much that I just knew she was going to be a great fit at our school, and I hoped I would get to have her in our advisory. So that worked out really well for us. She has been such a big part of our advisory, and unfortunately for Hannah, she's had to put up with me over the past 4 years. Her freshman and sophomore year, not only was I her advisor and her tennis coach, I was also her dorm parent. So there were times when she had to spend several hours a day with me. So sorry about that, Hannah. I did, before I get started, have some messages from some of our former advisees for Hannah, because we all love you. I just got to pull them up. Okay. Grace Battle wanted to say that, Hannah, you are energetic, passionate, and happy. You always have a smile on your face and care deeply about everyone around you and everything that you do. You never fail to light up a room and always bring the energy right when someone needs it. And she said to tell you good luck today. And then Sierra Lewis also says that Hannah is smiley, crazy, energetic, and friendly. She's one of those people that never fails to bring fun to any and every situation. She makes an impact wherever she goes and never fails to be herself. I love Hannah Saye and miss seeing her every day, and know VES will too. So many of you might get to see Hannah Saye up here as a counselor. She's been a tennis star over the past 4 years. She's made all-conference player all 4 years here, and all-state player, first team the past 2 years. So you may see that side of Hannah. You may see her as a counselor. You may see her as the person who holds the record for goals scored at VES, and she is all of those things. But none of this has come particularly easy for Hannah. She's had to work really hard for it, and I mean that in a good way. I mean that just because you get to see the shiny face of Hannah and the bubbly Hannah, she's really worked hard at this. Hannah had, between the COVID and the flu, I think she had it 5 times her freshman and sophomore year and had to go home. Twice during exam periods. So Hannah had to work really hard to come back from that. Once during tennis season, same thing, she had to work really hard to come back from that. And I have been with Hannah on the tennis court when she is down 2-5 on the tennis court and has been able to come back and win the set and come on to win the next set in the game. She is a fighter. She doesn't let hard times get her down. She cries, and then she's ready to go again. Hey, we all cry. No judgment, no judgment. And most importantly about Hannah, for all of us, is that she is like the leader this year of our advisory group. She's always trying to get us to organize different activities, whether it's pizza with Mr. Rim's advisory, pasta over at Miss Ainsley's house, or I don't know, whatever else we do, Mexican food. Bowling is the next on. Bowling's next, guys. Okay, so that's Hannah, and I'm going to let her talk more about her experience here, but I will just say this, that Hannah, I cannot imagine VES without you. You feel like more than just a student, and I don't know, like a niece or a daughter, and I'm definitely going to miss you, and I know that we're all going to miss you too. So are there any Lynchburg City School kids out there in the crowd? Any of you guys went to Lynchburg City Schools? Okay, So I don't know if y'all have this, and I know Miss Burris also is a proud graduate of Paul Monroe. So at my kids' school, they have a thing called bucket fillers, and I think they do it at other Lynchburg City schools too. I don't know if you guys know what bucket fillers is. It's someone who actively performs kind acts and uses positive words to make others feel good. And I feel like Hannah has just been a bucket filler all 4 of her years here, but in particularly I've seen her grow into it this year. And so I asked a bunch of Hannah's friends to write words about ways she brings joy to them, words that describe her, things they love about her, and put it in her bucket. So you get the bucket filler award. So you can go through it and see there's different people that have written. And if you didn't get a chance, hold on. If you didn't get a chance, she's going to be carrying this around all day, and you can write on a tennis ball and put it in her bucket for her. But I did ask each of our advisees to each share their word with her and tell her why. So I'm going to give that to them. Emerson, sorry. Hannah, you gotta hold the bucket so they can.
Oh yeah.
Hannah. All right, it's easy. All right, I'll go. All right. I'm gonna miss Hannah a lot. She's very empathetic and always knows how I feel.
Hannah, I love how cheerful you are.
My favorite thing about Hannah is I've never once felt judged by her. Two things I love about Hannah is how genuinely positive she is and how easy she is to talk to.
Hannah, I just met you this year, but you've always been so welcoming to me. Thanks for being so inclusive in Art Advisory.
Hannah, you're always so upbeat, and your smile is so contagious.
Thanks, guys.
So Hannah gets to awkwardly carry around that bucket in this bag all day. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Please grab a ball, write something nice about her, and stick it in her bucket. Let's make her bucket overflow the way she has made our school overflow with her joy and kindness over the past 4 years.
Thank you. Thank you to Ms. Rem for being the best advisor, coach, door parent, and role model for me these past 4 years, and Mrs. Ainsley for your guidance and willingness to talk whenever I needed to. You both have impacted me more than you know. And thank you to the Rem Advisory for making my Tuesdays even better. I love you all. When I was born, I had a heart defect called TAPVR, where my full pulmonary veins did not connect normally, restricting oxygen to my bloodstream. Because of this, I had to have open heart surgery at 12 days old. I also had to be intubated, meaning I needed a tube to be able to breathe. On one occasion, prior to surgery, they accidentally nicked my vocal cords, and my vocal cords didn't come together to make any noise. For the first 4 months of my life, I did not make a sound. Me, not make a sound? Shocking, I know. I was so quiet that even when I cried, my mom didn't even notice. It's okay, Mom, I still love you. As I grew up, I had a very raspy, scratchy, high-pitched voice that to me sounded like nails on a chalkboard. To make it even worse, I had a speech impediment, where I couldn't even pronounce the letters such as R. World would sound like wold. I called my brothers Bobbies instead of brothers, and my friend Max Martin was Max Martin. These two things combined to be the perfect ammo for people like Porker Strom, who laughed in the back of the class when I got corrected, and I'm sure he's a lovely boy now, but thanks a lot, Porker. All of this culminated in what became the most annoying and prevalent question of my childhood. Why do you sound like that anyway? Needless to say, this led to a deep insecurity. I'd constantly be watching what I said, how I said it, sometimes even trying to sound older because I thought my real voice sounded like I was 3 years younger than what I actually was. Being surrounded by the same 30 kids in my grade for 11 years left nowhere to hide my voice and nowhere for me to escape my insecurity. Outside of my voice, my childhood and schooling were great. I was basically an only child. I got to play soccer and tennis and had sleepovers with all my friends. So let's not make this out to be any type of sob story, but rather a story of transformation, both in the literal and figurative sense. Where a little girl who was ashamed to speak up in class for fear of what others would say transformed into an unafraid and confident person willing to share her truth before you today. I won't bore you with the blow-by-blow of all 4 years at VES, but I want to make something clear about my experience here. The idea that people wanted me to use my voice fundamentally changed how I saw myself. Whether it was on the court, in the classroom, on dorm, or on the soccer field, I saw myself using my voice for the voiceless. It wasn't right away, but over time, as this place gave me confidence, I didn't let my voice stop me from being loud, obnoxious, crazy, and occasionally vocal in class if I wasn't falling asleep. Not to mention, for whatever reason, people seemed to like the sound of my voice. So, where did I find my voice most useful? Soccer. During a game, yelling at an upperclassman during soccer season was not something that was on my bingo card for my time at VES. Yet here I was, as a freshman, lashing out at Emma Bell to pass me the ball. On dorm, navigating new friendships and adjusting to a new environment, but feeling completely at ease around the girls, where impromptu dance parties in the lounge became a way to let loose, connect, and build confidence. Those carefree moments helped give me the freedom to express myself without hesitation, knowing that I was in a caring and supportive community. Tennis. If there's one thing you should know about me, it's that I absolutely hate losing. I know it sounds cliche, but I've learned the most from my losses. I remember a tough loss at Foxcroft where I was frustrated with my performance, feeling that I had let everyone down. But after having some honest conversations with Miss Wren and Miss Lewis, they helped me see that cheering for my teammates, supporting them, and lifting their spirits was just as important as my individual performance. In leadership, having students and faculty trust me enough to be in a leadership role at this school and use my voice to guide the community was awesome. Living on Perkins with a bunch of freshman and sophomore girls, I get to use my voice to inspire, guide, and help them to reach their full potentials in their first few years of high school. The encouragement and acceptance this school has shown me leaves me with such gratitude. While my voice remains the same, ever raspy, high-pitched, and chalkboardish, I leave VES being forever changed. So, to those sitting here looking for your voice, know that I am living proof that this community will help you find it. While VES can't change the sound of your voice, it can transform how you perceive it and empower. So sorry. Oh my gosh. And empower you to use it with confidence and purpose. Seniors, we have 120 days to graduation. Thank you.